This is my Tiger 900 GT Pro motorcycle, 2023 model. I have bought Buckbuster's handguard. Join me in this video as I remove the factory handguard and replace it with the Buckbuster's. The reason I'm doing this is, if this motorcycle takes a drop, not a crash but a drop, the aluminium handguard frame is more likely to support the handlebar front end weight of the motorcycle to keep the fuel tank from hitting the ground. I will begin by removing the left hand side handguard. To do that, I have a 4mm Allen key. Put it at the end here, anti-clockwise. A few turns. And the bolt come off. I put the bolt and washer in the magnetic tray so I do not lose them. Next, I have to release the handguard attachment at this mirror position. To do that, hold the handlebar, turn anti-clockwise and unwind it slowly. And that's the factory left hand side handguard. So now let me get to the hardware. Identify the hardware left hand side and right hand side. So this is the right hand side, this is the left hand side. And the attachment bracket, there's a marking for left. And on the other packet, there's a marking for right hand side. Make sure I keep the correct ones together. For these L-shaped brackets, they are different, ones for left and right. To distinguish it, hold the bracket like that. There's a chamfer face here, and on this side you see the chamfer face is opposite. So this is the one on the left, and the installation document shows the picture. So this is on the right, I'll place it with the right. This is on the left. There's these sets of screws and two spacers. First thing I'll do is take the bracket itself with this Allen head countersunk screw and this spacer and start installing it. So the spacer sits here, so put the screw through, put the spacer through the screw, and then insert the screw into the hole and start screwing it in. Now it doesn't have to be very tight, it just needs to be tight enough to hold it in the position there. And where I want this bar, I will rotate this till I have this bar in the same plane as that clutch lever. In fact, I want the bottom of the bar to be lower than the bottom of the clutch lever knob. So roughly here. Right, it doesn't have to be tight. Next, grab the left hand side bracket clamps, unscrew the two screws. There. Now I take the left hand side clamp bracket and I take the left hand side L connector and I insert it in there and get the this bolt and nut assembly. Put the bolt through from the top to the bottom. Take the nut and secure it without tightening it. So now that's ready to be fixed. Now this clamp goes around this position, but I don't want the metal clamping to the handlebar and scratching it. So I will be cutting some bicycle tire tube. It is very thin, and wrapping it around the steel, just to give the steel a little bit of scratch protection. So it goes around there and the clamp will go in this position. Be careful not to damage the cables. So you need to find a position where it is a straight section and not a bend. So it looks like it will be around here. Take the two screws, make sure my rubber is wrapped all around. Move the clamp to where it is completely flush with the tube. I would say that would be about the position. Put the top screw in, hand thread it in just to hold it in position. Now put the bottom screw in. Probably does need an Allen key to help. Tighten it equally on both sides progressively. You can see my rubber sleeve is wrapped all around, preventing the clamp from scratching the handlebar. Just be sure I tighten both sides slowly, progressively. I think that will do. It doesn't need to be too tight at this stage. Now if I turn this L bracket in, it looks like I need to angle this clamp down about 1 centimeter. So I will loosen these two screws again. Just enough so I can rotate it around the handlebar. And looking at it, it looks like I need to adjust this clamp down another centimeter. Loosen a bit more. Be careful not to drop the screws into the engine bay. To help the alignment, I will put this M8 bolt in. Again, it doesn't have to be fixed tight, it's just to help with the alignment. So there. To make it aligned, I've turned it down so that this is still in one plane. I think this is the optimum position. The rubber is still wrapped around the handlebar. Again, tighten them slowly, progressively on both sides. To tighten this bolt, I will need a 10mm ring spanner on the bottom. There, that's good enough for the moment. I have a torque wrench here set to the correct torque settings. Right, that's it. That's 10 Newton meters. Now to torque this bolt. 20 Newton meters. Here we are. 20 Newton meters. Next, this bolt. I will need a 10mm ring spanner on the bottom. Done. That's set to 10 Newton meters. Lastly, the bolts for these clamps to 10 Newton meters. Make sure I tighten these equally top and bottom. I can actually put a piece of cloth here, but I will be careful. So you can see this is fairly rigid. There are two small packets of screws, one with the big head and short thread and one with the small head and long thread. The small head and long thread is used to fix the optional top piece to the main handguard. Okay, I can start tightening the screws. It's screwed in the plastic, so I must not over tighten it or it kills the thread. So yes, it is fixed. Now I get the screws with the big head and short thread to fix the handguard to the aluminium bar. There are two pre-drilled holes here, one here and one here. So align those holes with the hole in the handguard. There, this side is fixed. Now to tighten this end. Done. So that's what the left hand side looks like installed. The clamp, the L bracket attachment, the main bar and the plastic guards. Now to work on the right hand side handguard, I have to remove the factory handguard. 4mm Allen key. Keep the original screw and washer. Turn the mirror anti-clockwise to release. Slowly. Turn the handlebar to right so my mirror can miss the windscreen. This is the right hand side original handguard. This is the right hand side buckbuster bar. Put the replacement screw into the end of the bar. Put the spacer in and then screw into the end of the handlebar. Use a 4mm Allen key to tighten position I want it to be. Cut another piece of bicycle tire tube to protect the handlebar. Get the right hand side clamps. It's got marking R for right. Get the L-shaped bracket. Insert the screw through. Secure the nut on the underside. Wrap the rubber around where the clamp will go. Put the clamp there. Just got to be careful with this cable not to damage them. I will put this 8mm bolt in so that it's easier to align the bar and the clamp. I would say it needs to be about roughly that position. Now to put the other end of the clamp in. I can start tightening slowly. Yep, I think the clamp has to be here so that the cable can pass on top. I can start applying torque settings to the bolts. I will start by tightening this bar end. Tighten it to 10 Newton meters. Yep. Okay, it's 10 Newton meters tight now. Next, I need the 10mm ring spanner. Right, that's 10 Newton meters. I need to tighten these two bolts to 10 Newton meters. That's 10 Newton meters, it's clicked. This is 10 Newton meters, so this is all good now. Now to attach the additional plate to the top to give it more windbreak, use the long screws with a small head. That's done, the top is fixed to the main handguard. Now to screw handguard to the aluminium bar. Again, the screws to the big head and short thread. Go into the slots and locate the pre-drilled holes in the aluminium bar, one here and one here. Right hand side guards are installed. On the right hand side, because the cables pass around this corner, I want to protect the cables a little bit, and I will put a cable loom to wrap around the cables to give it a bit of protection. This cable loom is for these two cables, and on the inside there's this hydraulic brake cable. I want to protect that as well and just use this smaller cable loom just to protect it from abrasion rubbing against the metal. So if you see there, this will stop the hydraulic brake cable rubbing against the bracket and the bolt head. And a cable loom for this as well, so it doesn't rub against the corner of the bracket. May not look nice, but I'm more concerned about protection than just looking nice. Now to reinstall the right hand side mirror. I think the mirror will go about there. I've just loosened the top lock nut. So to tighten this, I have to tighten this bottom nut first. And it's clockwise tightened. Then turn the mirror to the desired position and use the lock nut on top. That's it. Now to reinstall the left side mirror. Have to turn the handlebars here, so I'll miss the windscreen when I turn. That's it. Left hand side mirror is installed as well. All good. Left side, right side Buckbusters handguard installed on my Tiger 900 GT Pro. It looks a very robust product. The thing to be careful with is here. At full extent, you can see it's actually very close to the dashboard screen. So I guess if you have the crash, you want to make sure the bars are straight rather than inwards on the side of the fall, where it could push this in and smash the display screen. I hope you found this video interesting and helpful. Do hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more to help the channel grow. Thank you so much.